Hello everybody. If you want to read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short story 314, A Culinary Adventure. Intermediate. It was a bright and sunny Saturday morning when Olivia decided to try her hand at making one of her favourite dishes, a traditional English roast dinner. Although she considered herself a fairly competent cook, she had never attempted this particular culinary challenge before. Olivia had grown up in a small town in the north of England, where Sunday roasts were a beloved family tradition. The aroma of roast meat, crispy potatoes, and steaming vegetables had always filled her childhood home, conjuring up warm memories of laughter-filled meals and cosy afternoons. Now, living in the bustling city, Olivia found herself craving those familiar flavours and the comfort they provided. Determined to recreate the magic of those cherished family gatherings, she set out to the local market, armed with a list of ingredients and a steely determination. As she wandered through the bustling stalls, Olivia's senses were assaulted by a symphony of sights, sounds and smells. The air was thick with the scent of freshly baked bread, sizzling meats and fragrant spices. Vibrant displays of seasonal produce and artisanal goods tempted her at every turn, making it difficult to stay focused on her task. After carefully selecting the perfect cuts of beef and lamb, as well as an assortment of fresh vegetables, Olivia made her way back to her small flat, her excitement growing with each step. Once home, she spent the next several hours meticulously preparing each element of the roast dinner. She carefully seasoned the meats, chopped the vegetables, and parboiled the potatoes, all while consulting her carefully curated recipe notes. As the savoury aromas began to fill the kitchen, Olivia couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and anticipation. This was her chance to recreate the flavours of her childhood, to bring a little piece of home to her urban life. When the timer finally rang, signalling that the feast was ready, Olivia took a deep breath and began to carefully plate the dish. She arranged the tender roast beef and succulent lamb chops alongside crispy golden potatoes, perfectly cooked carrots, and a rich velvety gravy. The final touch was a generous sprinkling of fresh herbs, adding a bright, fragrant note to the ensemble. Stepping back to admire her handiwork, Olivia couldn't help but feel a surge of accomplishment. This wasn't just a meal, it was a labour of love, a culinary journey that had transported her back to the comfort and familiarity of her past. With a satisfied smile, Olivia sat down at her small dining table, eagerly anticipating the first bite. As she savoured the mouth-watering flavours, she was overwhelmed by a wave of nostalgia and joy. Each tender morsel, each crisp potato, and each velvety spoonful of gravy reminded her of the cherished Sunday dinners of her childhood. In that moment, Olivia realised that this wasn't just about recreating a dish, it was about reconnecting with her roots, honouring her heritage and sharing a piece of her culinary legacy with her own life in the city. With every bite, she felt a little closer to home, a little more grounded in her identity. As she savoured the last delicious morsels, Olivia knew that this culinary adventure had been a resounding success. Not only had she mastered the art of the traditional English roast, but she had also rediscovered a deep-seated connection to her past, one that would continue to nourish her spirit and inspire her culinary adventures for years to come. Vocabulary notes. Roast dinner. Definition: a traditional English meal consisting of roasted meat, usually beef, lamb or chicken, roasted potatoes, and various cooked vegetables, often served with gravy. Example: Olivia decided to try her hand at making one of the favourite dishes, a traditional roast dinner. Similar words: Sunday roast, Sunday lunch, Sunday supper. Parboil. Definition: to boil food for a short time before cooking it in another way, such as roasting or frying. Example: she parboiled the potatoes before roasting them to get them crispy. Similar words: blanch, pre-cook, pre-cook. Fragrant. Definition: having a pleasant, sweet smell. Example: the air was thick with the fragrant scent of freshly baked bread and sizzling meats. Similar words: aromatic, perfumed, scented. Ensemble. Definition: a group of things that work together as a complete whole. Example: the final touch was a generous sprinkling of fresh herbs, adding a bright, fragrant note to the ensemble. Similar words: collection, set, group. Velvety. Definition: smooth and soft in texture, like velvet. Example: the rich velvety gravy complemented the tender roast beef perfectly. Similar words: silky, smooth, creamy. Cherished. Definition: greatly valued and deeply appreciated. Example: the aroma of roasted meat, crispy potatoes, and steaming vegetables had always filled her cherished childhood home. Similar words: treasured, beloved, revered. Nostalgia. Definition: a sentimental longing or affection for the past. Example: with every bite she felt a little closer to home, a little more grounded in her identity. Similar words: sentimentality, reminiscence, longing. Grounded. Definition: firmly established or secure in one's identity or sense of self. Example: Olivia realized that this culinary adventure had been a resounding success, rediscovering a deep-seated connection to her past. Similar words: rooted, anchored, cantered. Story written by Claude AI. Image created by Designer AI. To read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you.